All right, guys. My name is Pratik. This is my partner Yani and Lucas. And today our sponsor that we're using is Telnix. And so we just want to go through kind of the problem we tackled yesterday. We spent a lot of time trying to think about the problem. It's probably around half the day on the problem. And what we came up with is that we figured out that small businesses around Chicago are spending over $70 per month for at least one inbound line, and they require additional telephony hardware, such as VoIP phones and stuff like that. And we think that small businesses want to cut costs. They don't have extra revenue to spend on telephony hardware and a lot of these other costs. So we want to make it as simple as downloading an app. We all know that it's easy to download an app. And we also think that the barrier to start a new business is difficult with all these extra costs. So that's the problem we wanted to tackle. And so we came up with Project Sapphire Network. This name is from a random generator online, but it happened to work with our project. Powered by Telnix. And so we looked at Telnix and we really liked their idea of making be your own carrier. And so we kind of tried to bring that to small businesses. And so what we want to do is allow small businesses to manage inbound and outbound numbers through a mobile application without any additional hardware, so they wouldn't have to buy any of those extra phones. So how do we do this? So we created an app. We tried to create an app called Project Sapphire Network. The owner/manager would sign up, log in. They have a list of numbers they can choose from, which should be assigned to their business particularly. And they are able to add employees to their network. And so their employees are able to get the phone calls that people dial into that. And so we want to use existing infrastructure. If almost everybody has cell phones, we feel like we can utilize that. We should be able to utilize their cell phones and still be able to give employees the work-life balance that they need. So by dialing into a toll-free number that belongs to a business, it rings all employees that need to be alerted of a phone call during that time. Their app starts to ring. And so Yanni's going to go over value proposition.
So why does this help us? As you can see, it uses dynamic routing, which means that if the employee is at work, the phone will ring. Otherwise, it will not. So it will not alert them during their off time, like middle of the night, stuff like that. We're using, as Pratik said, we're using existing cell phone infrastructure, so that completely cuts out extra hardware that the small business owner needs to buy to get started. And it increases the chances of actually someone picking up instead of going to voicemail or getting that annoying message that says, please call back later. Another thing that's we feel it's very important is it's scalable, as in you can buy numbers with literally a click of a button, and you'll get 1, 2, 3, 40, 50 numbers if you need them to. And it has redundancy by failover through the PSN.
Yeah, so if they were out of Wi-Fi service, if an employee was outside the Wi-Fi service, or they were outside the cellular service, and we tried to attempt to call the employee through the app, we weren't able to reach them. We were able to use a PSTN and try to dial out to their regular cell phone.
And we actually talked to a few businesses across the street and in Chinatown. Yesterday we went and interviewed them, and the most shocking, I guess, was a Korean beauty store in Chinatown pays $160 for 2 lines, and they estimated around 2 hours of monthly usage of those lines. So if we can cut down costs on that, that would be great. another across the street, a pizzeria called Miller's Pizza, they pay $90 for phone, internet, and TV. Another, most people use either AT&T or other carriers, but another thing that we found interesting was that they all use fax. So that's definitely something to look into.
Okay, that's it. Hands up.
That's it. Thanks
Thank
a lot,
you.
guys. Any questions?
It sounds as though that, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds as though that you're reducing costs by pushing that to your employees by using their data plan instead of the company.
Well, it's using the application that the small business owner has signed up for. So we'd be sending out using the internet instead of using any sort of plans. Wi-Fi, basically. That's kind of the idea. So I guess we're out of time. We can go. Okay.
Did you have a demo of it?
Short demo. We didn't get very far, but
Yeah, quick, go on. This is your penultimate. Now, Eclipse, you're going to do the presentation.
It's gonna be real quick.
That's good. Really, do your last one and being really quick.
So we get a simple UI for the app. Actually, this is website now. So we get all the informations like numbers, stuffs, and this is a list of numbers we bought. And we can add a phone number here and transfer the calls. Now we got a login both. Yeah, it's just yeah.
Great. Excellent. Thanks so much, guys.